1.5 million views. I mean, like,
It's once that puck drops, it's all business.
It's game on. It's game on. Fat man in a little shirt. But
I didn't even notice it was that short on your arms.
Oh, yeah. No, this thing's like, you can't see it, but all the people walking on Broadway here, they can definitely see.
You know, I get off the ice and I'm walking by and I can hear from the showers all the guys singing Coconut in the shower. And I'm just like,
The puck drops and a massive slap shot. It's good afternoon and welcome back to the SuperFan Diaries. We're coming to you from Broadway in downtown Nash Vegas. And today we have something pretty special for all you listeners, kids, adults, and your favorite grandparents. I'm J.R. Green, and this is the story about what happens when you never lose the kid inside you. Before the NHL, before winning a Stanley Cup, and before the pressure. Just two kids in Canada playing hockey, laughing in the locker rooms, and somehow that same energy turned into something new, a band, a kids album, and a whole lot of joy. Fresh off their debut album, Pizza Party, it's Pizza Party, yeah! Welcome, Nashville Predators center, a future Hall of Famer, Ryan O'Reilly, and Kelly James of the band Mac N Cheeze. How we feeling today, guys?
thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
What an intro.
Great intro. Love it.
You guys deserve it. I mean, look at Ryan over here. He's wearing a giant macaroni. You can't get any better than that.
That's just every day for him. That's regular life. You guys have never seen him off the without his hockey helmet on. That's what he always has on.
That's dedication, baby.
Unfortunately, I've got Kelly's cheese head here as well. But I'm right now in kind of where we do a lot of our writing and practicing, and so I like to keep the helmets here because it really helps us get into character when we're performing, when we're just even writing. So
I love it.
Unfortunately, Kelly doesn't have his on right now, but it's here.
Well, he's looking cool because he's in Los Angeles. So, sorry about that. You're stuck here in Nashville with me right now, which is actually raining today. But all right, guys, we got to go back to the beginning. Take me back. Two kids in Canada on the major junior travel league hockey circuit. What did that friendship look like early on between you two?
I always remember, it's funny, I think me and Ryan obviously connected pretty quickly when we first met. He was a rookie when I played on the Erie Otters for a year. And when he came in, I think there was just sort of like, I don't know, a funny connection where, it was beyond hockey and all those other things. And we connected on music and film and TV and things like that. And I think he would admit that him and I kind of bring a bit of an energy when we're in a room and things like that. And you could imagine in the dressing room in Erie that we had a lot of fun together and stuff like that. And outside of the arena, we played music a lot and that kind of thing. And over time, it developed into us making songs. And I think I'll let Ryan take over from like how it's kind of gotten to this point now of being in Nashville and stuff like that.
Well, before he even goes, though, I got to jump to it. I mean, this is childhood relationship. You guys are good buddies. How many fights did you get in with the other team when one of you got checked a little too hard?
Neither of us are real, let's say, tougher fighters.
The bruisers.
I know, shockingly with this helmet on. Yeah, I'm not a big fighter, but no, we in junior. So like we first met, we're probably high school, so mid-high school is where we became close right away, and it was nice. We had some other tough guys on our team that if anything happened, we'd just be, hey, see what happened to him, maybe go take care of that kind of thing. But yeah, us specifically, no, we were a little bit more, I guess.
We're the lovers, not the fighters. I guess.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. All right. Was there a moment you both knew that this is my bro? Obviously in high school, you each felt a bond. You'd be a part of each other's lives for so long. As I've met a lot of people, and I consider myself really lucky that I still have childhood friends, 40 years that I've been friends with all the way until now in my 50s. I've met a lot of people. It's very difficult to have that. Was there a moment you guys knew you'd be brothers forever?
Well, yeah, I think I don't know, even just right away, first meeting each other, I just remember I couldn't stop laughing. Kelly was just someone that commanded the room. And
he's got that smile, Ryan. He's got that smile.
Exactly. And just so kind of fun to be around. And I was just kind of young at the time, a rookie, a little quieter. And I just remember Kelly was just so fun to be around. And I just knew right away that this was the birth of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, I love it.
I'll jump in too. I think there was a moment in our rookie year too. I think I guess like our families and like we just our families kind of mesh well together as well too. And like his brother Cal was such a good guy too and stuff like that. But I think there was a moment I think in our rookie year or his rookie year, I think when we went back home to his hometown for Thanksgiving, and I think I stayed overnight or something like that. And I remember waking up in the morning to Ryan's dad making breakfast with no shirt on, like singing like out loud to I swear to God, it might have been like Aretha Franklin or like something like outrageous. And it just reminded me of my own dad. And it's just one of those things where like, we already knew we were boys and we knew we got along, and you kind of see
Awesome.
those things of like why maybe, right? Like our families are a little goofy, a little weird, not afraid to sing and just be fun and stuff like that. So I think we give a lot of credit to our dads for being that way, that have made us this way a bit of like, not worried about what we look like so much as you can tell with Ryan there.
Yeah, I can tell. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, we're going to jump to another thing about teams and fandom. Growing up, Kelly, a.k.a. Uncle Kelly, and the Cheese, who did not wear his cheese hat today. Who were your favorite teams when you were growing up?
I was a Leaf fan growing up.
They got a cool logo. You got to admit it. I like that logo. It's a cool logo.
Yeah, yeah. Man, when you grow up in Toronto, in the Greater Toronto area, it's basically just like inbred in you to be a Leafs fan, and I'm still a Leafs fan. But I always like to say, like, I've been fortunate. You talk about having friends and still staying in touch with people that you played hockey with, or
Yeah.
old friends and things like that. I've been fortunate to have not just Ryan, but a couple other guys that have made the NHL and made long careers. So I personally have been spoiled to be able to cheer for my friends
Oh, wow.
more than I like, and especially over the long time of the Leafs not doing as well as they could have. It's always been nice to have, Ryan, or I don't know. I grew up playing with Stammer on Nashville too, so
That's
it's
cool.
nice to see him going through long playoff runs and things like that.
Oh, that's great. Ryan, how about you? Who was your favorite as a kid?
I always kind of followed players and whatever team they were on. I have an older brother too. Whatever kind of team he was on, I kind of felt like I was a part of it and would always watch extra close. But growing up, Colorado was as a team that I always admired their talent and the way they were. As I got older, my favorite players were Zetterberg and Datsuk, and those were guys I'd always,
Yeah.
if they're playing, always tried to tune in to watch them. Which is always exciting, and just learned a lot from watching those guys.
Well, then tell me this, because this gets back into the world of fandom, and for all the fans that are listening there, you have a unique perspective because Ryan, you've been on multiple teams. You've also had to play. You just mentioned that you're not a super fan of any one particular team when you were younger, but now when you get on a team and you got to play potentially one of your good buddies, how do you handle that mentally? I mean, because you're going against your buddy. And I don't know if you and Kelly ever played against each other, but like when you're playing against a friend, what enters your mind?
I know it's weird. A lot of times with the way our schedule works out, you're able to kind of see your buddies before the game, whether grab dinner the night before or you're staying over, get to see them after. So it's always nice to catch up. But I feel like there's such pride, and it's a business. You want to win and you want to have success. And so when the puck drops, you have to lock in and dial in. And sure, you want that guy to do good, but just not tonight.
Yeah.
You got to do good. You wish him hopefully nothing bad happens to him, but when that puck drops, you got to dial in and do whatever you can. And I've been on quite a few teams in my career, and so I have a lot of good buddies all over. But once that puck drops, it's all business.
It's game on. It's game on. All right, well, speaking of fans, as this is SuperFan Diaries, for folks listening, hockey is another level of travel, okay? My son, now 13, has two close friends in middle school here in Tennessee at BGA. They're living here, and I believe 2 weekends a month they are flying to Montreal for weekend tournaments. I mean, this is off the charts. Ryan and Kelly jump back to childhood hockey, and right before, obviously, you guys joined into high school with one another. Tell us how many days a week you were practicing back then and how many weekends your parents had to, quote, give up or left town to travel to these away games.
I grew up with two brothers who also played everything as well. So, I mean, I remember my childhood going from lacrosse in the summer to hockey in the winter. And then the older we got, it was just more and more hockey and more and more hockey. And like in places like Nashville and stuff, there's those travel teams and
huge.
Yeah, like and Ryan knows with his kids now playing hockey in the States, it's a little different. In Canada, it's not. It's basically like breathing. It's everywhere. It's every time. Like if you're a hockey player like me and Ryan growing up, it was it was anytime you could get on the ice, you were getting on the ice. In pond hockey in the winter, or if anybody had we were both lucky too to have older brothers where if we were allowed to get on the ice with them, we were out there. So I know my childhood, I just remember just being in a hockey arena like the whole time. So
Yeah. We have Miracle. For people like me, we just remember the movie Miracle, right? That's when they're out there on the ice on a pond. Ryan, how about you? You were hitting ice pretty hard, I'm sure, too.
Oh yeah, yeah, same thing. You know, growing up in Canada, anytime there was, you know, the biggest thing we looked forward to is snow days, and my dad would drop me and my brother off at the rink, and we'd be there for the entire day and just skating all day. And we're lucky in Canada that you had a lot of good competition close, and so, you know, there's still weekends you're going, even like weekdays you're traveling, you know, an hour or so, or a little more than that to have good competition. But yeah, hockey was just a way of life. As you know, any free time we could, we were playing, and it's interesting seeing it here, like down here in Nashville now, being a hockey dad now and seeing my kids in it. There's so much travel to it. You know, there's not enough rinks here in Nashville, so it's like you got to go to all these tournaments, and it's such a, you know, the parents that are in it, you see it. There's such a dedication. It takes you know, so much time and effort. It's amazing, but it is, you know, you see it. I was in St. Louis for a while where, you know, hockey's been around for 50 years. It's been a little over 25 years here now. You see it growing.
Yep.
It's such a great game, and you can see the passion of it and the commitment from parents and kids to it. It's such an amazing game. It's such a fast, exciting game with so many unique skills, but it is such a commitment. It's just, you constantly have to be traveling for it and
making it work. Well, now time to fast forward a little bit. As the music partnership is pretty recent, Ryan, most hockey fans listening know what you've been doing since 2009 when you were drafted to clearly the team you wanted to be drafted to, the Colorado Avalanche, which is, congratulations on making that happen. I think a little Eli Manning style by you. You won a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues. So I now actually want to turn the attention to you, Kelly. Give us a quick background on where your passion has been before starting the band Mac N Cheeze. Were you part of another band before?
So once I played some professional hockey in Europe and stuff like that. When I retired, I actually started getting into acting and writing and producing and things like that in Toronto. And music has always been an extension of that to me as well anyways, and me and Ryan being really into music. And I think it's one of those things too with hockey, you find that there's a lot of downtime on the road and things like that. And even just at home, you know, when you're done training and just sort of relaxing, it's nice to like pick something up, you know, a book or things like that. But I think me and Ryan got into music, and it started becoming more than just a thing to pass the time. You know what I mean? So I think once I was done and I started doing creating and acting and things like that. And it was, again, like it was just an extension of that to get into the music side of it. And me and Ryan have kind of written songs for years where we just kind of made joke songs and maybe some more serious songs, but also a lot of just like silly songs that we play to make each other laugh or our friends laugh. And I think the funny thing was just switching to more kids oriented things when Ryan started having kids. But yeah, like we like to say we did technically have a band before Mac N Cheeze called the Arties, but that was
there
just
you go. There's always history. There's always that background first timer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, the question I have now is for, you know, first time you just said it, you set this up for my next question before I didn't even have to think of it, which is you all started doing this a long time ago. You started thinking of songs just for fun, like things I sometimes may do in the shower, just singing, having some fun. But walk us through how it happened and the first realization that you realized these songs you were created were actually really good.
Yeah, I guess it's, you know, once I started having kids and, you know, we'd get together and we're picking up the instruments and, you know, we're playing, you know, messing around with other songs and, you know, playing, you know, covers and realizing that, you know, the kids really don't want to hear Pearl Jam right now or, you know, Lumineers. They want to hear something they can move to and be silly to. And so
you're right.
That was kind of like the birth of like, okay, well, how do we make my little 2-year-old, you know, get up there and shake his butt?
Yes.
And like, so it's kind of like,
because we love it. It's so adorable. As parents, you just get so excited.
Exactly. And so that's kind of how we started writing these songs. They started just like developing naturally. And then as we kind of, you know, we had a few songs we've been kind of working on, but not like really sat down and just been like, hey, this is it. It was just kind of ones we had. And once I kind of came to Nashville, kind of my wife had the ideas like, you know, you should go in and like actually record these. It'd be great to be able to have for our friends and family. Right, get in the car and open up Apple or Spotify and go right to the song. And be able to hear it because the kids love it. So
Yeah.
it was kind of this idea that we've had year before about this, children's duo in like more of a TV show aspect. It kind of like for us, it kind of clicked like, well, why don't we try like actually doing this? And we kind of took it much more seriously and making these silly songs.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I don't know, Kelly, if you want to take over from there, but how it kind of steamrolled, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot
Well,
of
I
it
mean,
too
let's
is
just, Ryan, I can't stop, but look at the fact that you're wearing a macaroni. I mean, you're wearing macaroni while you're saying all this, which is just amazing. Kelly, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was just gonna say, I think it was just the timing of it too. Ryan being in Nashville and hooking up with people who are just super talented musicians
Oh, yeah.
in Nashville and things
We're
like
loaded
that.
here. Yep.
When we got into the studio, we worked with some really amazing people, from just the day workers that came in and played instruments for us, to our producer Chris Kimmerer, who's also the drummer with Thomas Rhett. And they kind of just elevated everything and also kind of built our confidence in ourselves, I think, a little bit too, in what we were doing. And it sort of, again, snowballed and kind of kept going that way. And yeah, I just think it became something that we were really proud of the music. And we just thought like again, the original idea was just to make our own friends and family and kids laugh. But if we could make some more laughter and stuff from other families and stuff, that'd be great.
All right. Well, speaking of laughter, how on earth were you both able to record the song Bye Bye Mr. Pooh without laughing? I mean, I want to see the behind scenes, but no pun intended, of the making of that song.
There's a lot of the studio. I'll go back to just when we were like coming from like doing acting and stuff and being creative and stuff like that. Once we were in the studio, Ryan will say the same. It was one of the, besides hockey stuff I can remember in my life, it was the most fun I've ever just had. There's like an energy that comes out of you, and just like you said, we couldn't get through a lot of lines, and we were like we're making noises and doing silly voices and things like that, and it was. I'd like to say that the reason, I think a big reason why people are connecting to the music and appreciating the music is because I think that when people make something and they've had fun making it, the people can feel it when they've seen the final product, whether it's a movie,
100%,
a TV show, an album. Maybe you didn't see it happen, but they had a great time doing it because the product is just so great. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. It's just
perfect. Yep.
Awesome.
And I agree with you. I mean, that's pretty much, that's media. Same thing on the ice, right, guys? When you guys are feeling, when you're in the zone, you're unstoppable. And let's see how you all answer these. It's now time for the Desert Fan Island. You all know what that is. We're going to be asking each of these individuals, Ryan and Kelly, 5 questions. Are you all ready for Desert Fan Island? Pretend for you, Kelly, Toronto Maple Leaf Stadium, singular. You're by yourself inside the arena, just you with an amphitheater. You get one movie, one musical artist outside of Mac N Cheeze, one food, one drink, and one person. All right, Kelly, we're going with you first. What's the one movie you're just going to have on loop? I know. I put you out there. See, Ryan's getting to cheat because he gets time. He's getting the same questions. So he's now starting to think about it. Cheating.
I'm a sucker for anything Jim Carrey. So I think maybe I'll go with The Mask.
Oh, that's such a great film, by the way. Underrated, but a great movie. Good call.
Yeah, that's one that I think that kind of describes my personality a little bit.
So
too,
good.
Right?
It's such
the weirdness. I always used to joke that I come from the acting school of Jim Carrey, but which is not a real. It's just I just watched too much Jim Carrey in my life that
I love it.
Comes out. But yeah, I'll go with The Mask.
All right, one musical artist. You can a single singer, a band, one musical artist. Who's it going to be?
I will go Gord Downie and Tragically Hip, Gord Downie.
Cool. Okay. One food. One food.
Food, I will go with pizza.
Okay. One drink.
Gatorade.
Oh, healthy. You know,
we're going for that Gatorade sponsorship.
Oh, there you go. Just loaded. All right. Kelly, you get one person. Who's going to join you?
I'll take my girlfriend, Caroline.
There you go. Good answer. All right, Ryan, you got the extra, sneak peek, cliff notes. One movie.
Interstellar.
That's a good movie. I mean, that's a complicated film, by the way. It is the most complicated movie out there, by the way.
That one if that's on, I'm locked in. It just grabs me, pulls me in.
One music artist. Who's your music artist?
I say City and Color, who's featuring on Mr. Pooh, a good friend of mine, but my favorite singer-songwriter is just an incredible, kind of inspired me to play music that, I don't know, he's an amazing person and musician, that I'd love him, playing. It'd be great.
All right. One food?
I'm gonna say I have to go pasta.
Pasta. There you go.
A spicy rigatoni vodka.
There you go.
All sort of pasta. I love Italian food. Kelly took my answer of pizza, so I'm gonna say pasta though. That's what I'm going with.
That's the benefit of getting to go first. Sometimes you get to pick out the better answer. All right, one drink.
If I could do an adult beverage,
Sure.
I would say Guinness, if that's okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
That flashed through my head. I didn't know if that was allowed or not.
Yeah, you're absolutely. This is PG show. You can say Guinness, no problem.
Okay, I was gonna say, if not that, tea. I'm a big tea drinker. I love peppermint tea, so that would be my other option. And what's the last one?
One person, Ryan. One person you get to be with.
I'd say I'm gonna go with for how it's lining up right now with everything there. I'm gonna say my brother.
That's cool, man.
He used to want to introduce me to City and Color, and he likes a lot of those things that I'm talking about there. So he would be someone who would really enjoy it. My brother Cal.
Awesome. I'm going to give you a bonus question, Ryan, just because right now you're in the NHL. Past or present, if you could invite one NHL player, past or present, to join you, who is it?
Join us in the band or join him and just in general?
No. He can't join the band. Just to join you in the arena. He's at Pred. He's here at Nashville Preds. He's at Bridgestone. He's at Bridgestone. That's where his desert island is.
You got to go with the great one. I feel like
can't go wrong with that one.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew you were going
with the great one.
And by the way, he's here a lot. Just so you know, the great one is here.
Oh, yeah.
He's out playing golf, I think, recently at Troubadour recently, and I'm sure he's going to become a member of the Bounty. So that's it.
Oh, yeah.
In the world of starting new things, nothing goes as planned, and everything takes longer than expected. The album Pizza Party dropped April 10 of this year, very recently. What did that moment feel like, and how long did that journey take to get from the start to the debut?
It's crazy how, again, Ryan and I recorded the album in Nashville not last, 2 summers ago now?
Yeah,
two summers ago. And, in our heads too, being a little bit new to the recording side of it, and, you think you kind of get the songs down and 2 weeks later, you think you're going to have the full product, but it's just not that way. So there's a lot of, behind the scenes things that we learned about. We also got signed to a record label, Dynalone Records, and we got a manager.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Team, to sort of help pump it out and stuff like that. And it's kind of been a long journey, and we're at this point too, we still feel like it's the beginning of it, even though we've basically been working on it in some ways for 4 years. And
there you go.
I think Ryan had mentioned sort of slightly that, I think the spark of the idea came from a bit of a TV show idea, which we're actually pitching a TV show with a Canadian writer, producer, comedian, Jerry D.
Okay.
We signed a deal with him to start putting out this show. So we're kind of pitching to networks and things like that now. But the show is based on a parody maybe version of Me and Ryan, but it's an adult show, not for kids. That's sort of a bit of the behind the scenes, and not us playing versions of ourselves, I guess would be what it is. But again, so that was where we kind of have that TV show idea is our big thing that we're coming out with next, I guess.
All right. Well, when we switch to the thing you just mentioned there, children, some things, you guys are also going to get ready to do a project that's for adult only. Well, as we speak about kids, just for you guys today, because I know Ryan, I know all Preds fans. I'm that boring corporate guy who has a polo shirt that says Preds. So I had to borrow my son's Predator shirt. Fat man in a little shirt. But
I didn't even notice it was that short on your arms.
Oh, yeah. No, this thing's you can't see it, but all the people walking on Broadway here, they can definitely see the little belly coming through it. It's not a fit hockey belly. So when I think about this, right out of the gate, what's it like seeing kids and families connect to the song so quickly, and y'all have such an impressive following so quickly? So what's the feeling like?
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious. It's, obviously you do one thing, out there playing hockey, and I get so dialed into that. And even at the rink now, the amount of parents come up to me and are just like, oh, pizza parties are.
Yeah, you're a pizza party. Forget being you. You're a pizza party guy.
It is. It's hilarious. The parents, just the feedback from them, oh, we're rocking out to it all the time. And it's just so funny to have this. I don't know. It's really cool for me just to see how people are connecting this kind of crazy little thing me and Kelly created. It's something completely different of hockey, but enjoying it and connecting with their kids with it and having a laugh. And I know the parents laughing and just us being crazy doing it and the kids just requesting the songs again and again. Like it's, I don't know, it's just a really cool feeling that, you know, we know our kids loved it and it was cool to see their reactions, but the more and more people getting it, it's just kind of, yeah, it's kind of like a little pinch me kind of thing.
You know, when you think about moments when you make decisions and you actually listen to your kids. So Ryan, how old are what's your span of age between your children right now, the youngest to the oldest?
Yeah. So it's 8 to 2. So 8, 6, 4, and 2.
Prime time. I mean, that is prime time for what you all are doing. So you're not going to be able to get, for you, Kelly, when you're trying to think of other songs, you're not going to get a better target market. And, you know,
love that.
so if you think about it in our world with SuperFan Diaries, you know, our age gap is pretty much a huge gradient of different people involved. But we have a really high audience group of women watching, which is amazing for sports shows. But I will tell you a secret. How have we gotten 1.5 million views on TikTok? My 12-year-old son. Because we went to a sneaker con event and there was this amazing individual named K-Camp. Never heard of him before, but he's an amazing artist. And he's like, Dad, go stand next to him and, you know, just interview him real quick. That's what we want to see. That's what 12-year-olds want to see. So I did the interview because he told me to, and then we posted 1.5 million views. I mean, like, it's and what I'm saying is I wouldn't have thought of that. I'm going to be like, typical corporate guy, you know, hey, what's ever. And he's like, no, Dad, you got to be cool. You got to be sneaky. And what he does is he swipes. And you guys are going to be going through this as well in the next few years when your children are 8. You probably got to wait till you're like 12 when they get the watch or iPhone thing. Not the iPhone, but like, you know, the little watch. But when they start getting involved in social media, the swiping, I mean, it's incredible. But with your target market, I think that's pretty, what I will call pretty amazing. So Ryan, not many people have 2 successful passions: achieving Hall of Fame status, and then jumping into a totally new career of music. The NHL life is structure, pressure, huge expectations, and then you have music, which is fun, loose, creative. I am just trying to imagine, you know, at practice, you skating at full speed down the ice with a little fun dance, a little macaroni maybe you bring to the dance, you know, to the ice floor, singing in your head with Pizza Party. What does that actually feel like daily to balance these 2 worlds?
Yeah, well, I feel like the way I kind of got into music, because there's so much real downtime away from the rink, and you know, I was kind of sometimes playing video games a little too much, and I was like, you know, I've always loved music and playing it. I'm like, okay, why don't I lock into music a bit more and you know, tap into that, which is much more creative and fun, and so that kind of always was like a nice escape for me. And then obviously it's blossomed into this and songwriting and crazy stuff this way. But it is hilarious that even like my teammates, how much they've gotten behind it. And Pizza Party was our win song this year. And,
I love it.
you know, I get off the ice and I'm walking by and I can hear from the showers all the guys singing Coconut in the showers. And I'm just like, you know, I hope the coach doesn't be like, what?
Well, no. But my next question is, have you gotten Bill Haslam to dance to your music yet?
He's brought it up a couple of times. I haven't seen him dance to it.
Way to go, Bill. Way to go, Bill.
And he's a great guy, but he supports it, which is really cool. Which, yeah, I think I was a little nervous maybe how, you know, teammates and, you know, staff would take me creating children's music. But it is hilarious. I feel like, I feel like it's such just a cool thing about, you know, that you're not always one thing, that, you know, we all have these other things that we're into. And obviously mine, I think, is put myself out there a little differently than most, but still I love it. And like, you know, I shouldn't be affected what others think of, you know, what I'm doing. You know, I think I play hockey, I give it everything I have. And now I'm creating songs with my best buddy and giving that everything I have too. So I hope that translates and people respect it. And yeah.
Well, you've definitely, Ryan and Kelly, both of you have created what I'll call a mental health model, you know, and as you all may know, and a lot of folks listening know my background as a mental health leader before jumping into this career of media. Kelly, do you feel making this music makes you a happier person?
Oh, of course. I mean, just bringing up mental health and things like that. I mean, totally. I think part of like going back to just a little bit of touching on how receptive and open arms the Predators organization and the fan base and everybody has been around there has been so supportive of Ryan, and that just means a lot, because where it's really the heart of it is just sort of coming from, you know, just being yourself and you're allowed to be a little weird, you're allowed to be a little different. You know, you could be a professional hockey player and you could be a good dad and you can do all these different things, and it doesn't make you one way or the other. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, like it just brings out so much joy in myself and in our friends and families. The amount of times we get videos sent to us of friends and families, kids dancing to our songs, it literally almost like makes me cry sometimes, because it's just, that's what it was always about, was just to make some kids laugh and some kids dance and things like that. And again, just the hockey community itself, I think, has just been so great to us, and like just from not even NHL, but from our whole lives, right? So in a fun way, I think we want to show people that, as much as you can be committed to something like hockey, and such a masculine sport where you're, like your body and your brain are all being put to the test at all times, and then you could still have times to make your kids laugh at home, and you know what I mean? And Brian's, I've always, there's something about certain people that you're around sometimes that just bring the best out of you. And I know Ryan, and even Ryan's wife, their family is just, there's just something about them that I love being around. And there's something cool that has come from this, where it's just a nice positive energy, and we're all just having so much fun with it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the things for all the listeners out there. I know we talk about sporting, but we also, I've been getting to do some research, and I've told some folks down the road I will be able to do TED Talks. And I do believe that there is a mental health component of super fans, and people that embrace trying other things have a much healthier mental health than others. So I think it's amazing. And Ryan, I assume you probably feel the same way. And does it make you become a better hockey player listening to this music and developing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt just in my career, I felt like I couldn't be just 24/7 hockey. Like I need to be able to check out, and I need to be able to, mentally get away from it, to be able to come back to it and give it my all. And it's the same thing where, like I said, the mental health aspect of it, diving into this and the learning of it. Like I just find myself, reading books on music and just trying to understand that. And it was just, I'm so excited to just learn and get better at music and understand it more and create new things. It's so healthy for myself, especially getting towards the end of my career here. You do think about, hey, what's life after this? And I feel like, this project has given me some life towards that, where I hope, we can, for years to come, Kelly and I can make, some kids laugh and make good music. And I think it's so important to have something and those lessons and keep learning. Like we must never stop learning. And even like hockey too, I still feel like a kid when I touch the ice. I feel like I want to get better at practice, and I love what I do. But it's so much fun to have this other thing too that I enjoy so much, and get to, be a part of something that makes people laugh.
And, we go back to some of the folks we've had on the show, and for you listeners that have definitely made comments before around retirement. Well, guys, it's now time for the buzzer beater rapid fire. We have quick questions, so don't overthink them. Don't overthink them. We're going to start with you, Ryan. Number one, favorite player of any sport growing up?
Already said it, but Wayne Gretzky growing up. He was...
Can't beat him. I saw him in LA when I lived there. Yeah, you can't beat it. It's just too funny.
Sorry. I don't want to do repeat answers, but
It's all right. Here's one a lot of people are going to want to know. Favorite arena you've played in?
The Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
How can you beat it?
It's no longer there, but that was, remember watching a lot of guys I grew up playing there and watching. That was, it was cool playing there.
All right. One song before a game you have to listen to.
One Big Holiday by My Morning Jacket.
I knew it.
Oh, cool. Kelly, I should have asked you. You could have played that matchmaker game.
One Big Holiday is always one that.
I love it. Are the Preds going to make the playoffs next year?
Yes.
Hell yes. All right. Favorite college or NFL football team?
The Buffalo Bills.
All right. We had the founder of the Buffalo Mafia here. He was quite a riot. Right. Yeah, so I got to get up there one day and be able to watch these guys jump in the mustard ketchup, man.
It's
such fandom.
It's the atmosphere, but definitely worth it.
Such fandom. All right. How many teeth of yours are real?
Most, all but one. I don't know if you can see, but
there you go. There we go, everybody.
I'm
so cool.
That's one. My front two got knocked out. They could save the one. The other now will be gone until I retire and get it permanently fixed.
Makes sense. Smart move. All right. Last question for you, Ryan. Where was the wildest place you or your Blues team took the Stanley Cup in 2019? And while he's thinking about that, for everybody listening, it's famous. The Stanley Cup is the most famous trophy, I believe, in all of sports. And what happens is the team and the players get to take this trophy all over the world. It's like a tradition. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Well, as a team, we did take it to Vegas, which was quite the scene. But no, for myself, taking it back, it's not that crazy. But taking it back to where I grew up, which is farm country
Oh,
in
yeah.
rural Ontario,
Love that.
I was, yeah, we were pretty much at my parents' house in the middle of a field celebrating the Stanley Cup, which just surrounded by cornfields and bean fields. It
That's
was
special.
yeah,
That's
It was
special.
pretty darn cool.
Kelly, you're up. If you could visit only one city in Canada as a tourist, where do you recommend?
I would recommend going to Muskoka in the summer times, but
Okay.
like Muskoka area, I guess there's different towns, but the Muskoka area.
I love it. All right. Most valuable sports memorabilia you own.
This is kind of a fun fact. My dad grew up with his godfather was Tim Horton, as in the Tim Horton. My grandfather was friends with Tim Horton, and so we actually have a few cool old Tim Horton signed hockey sticks from like that era, which is insane. An old Teeter Kennedy real hockey like from those old sweaters and stuff. So I have a couple of those cool things, and it's more of our family stuff, but my dad has those things at home. So I'd say those Tim Horton memorabilia.
What's the biggest difference between living in Canada and living in the U.S.?
I live in Los Angeles, so I'd say the weather. I mean, the weather.
That's all you have to say, because you're exactly right.
The biggest mood booster I've ever had is just walking out in December, walking along at a beach with the sunshine and calling my brother back at home in Calgary. And he's got like, I don't know, 12 feet of snow. I'm not even exaggerating.
Of course he does.
Like literally 12 feet of snow in front of him. So that part.
All right. Who's more competitive, you or Ryan?
Ryan.
Oh, come on.
Hold on. I'll say Ryan comes by honestly, because if I'm going to go the most competitive in the family and in our stratosphere, it's his mom.
Oh, yeah.
His mom's
always the mom. How do you think we all got here? All right.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the wildest fan tradition in hockey? Is the Detroit Octopus? Maybe Catfish? What's your choice? Not between those two, of any of them. What's the wildest? Because I know you know them all, Kelly. What's the wildest fandom, craziest of all hockey fans?
The Catfish is pretty wild.
I love our Catfish. I don't know how people bring that in, because I thought about doing it, but I'm like, that's going to ruin your whole day. I mean,
I've
it's
seen
3
some
hours.
people do the behind the scenes of people sneaking it in, and they're like shoving it down their pants and stuff.
Have you all
And
caught
I'm like,
Catfish?
that's just not going to be good for everyone around you while you're watching the game.
I know, but you feel so good.
But the Octopus, that was back in the day in the 90s growing up, and you were watching like Steve Yzerman and those guys playing playoff games, and I don't know, it just reminds me of like Don Cherry, Rock'em Sock'em, seeing having them squishing the octopus or something. So maybe that one.
All right, your last question. What advice do you give yourself, Kelly, 18 years ago? Excuse me, when you're 18 years old. What advice do you give yourself when you're 18 years old? Go back in time. Give yourself some advice. What are you going to give yourself?
I would say, I have brought this up even with just like guys on, like, I think kind of touched on it a little bit about Ryan kind of inspiring younger guys to be kind of getting out of their comfort zone a little bit with what he's doing. I think when you're young and you're playing junior hockey, you get so caught up in just trying to make it and trying to play hockey the best you can. And everybody is telling you just need to be on the ice more, be training more. And I was one of those guys who kind of did all that kind of stuff. And, you kind of put your heart and soul into it. And not to say that you forget other things, but there's other things to enjoy in life as well. Like, I would just say, dive into, if I was giving myself advice, I would say dive into some of those creative outlets further than you have at that point in my life. I've always been a creative person, and I think there's something about being a professional hockey player where you really just got to go into it. So maybe some of those other things get pushed to the side. But as I got older, and I'm sure Ryan feels the same way, is there's room for that, and it actually helps, and it kind of builds that other part up by giving yourself a break and being creative and things like that will actually help with your hockey. And just because you're a serious hockey player doesn't mean you can't do some other fun things on the side without taking away from the hockey.
What do you want young athletes to learn about life beyond the game? I'm getting some questions for you guys now coming in the end.
Learning. I think that's something that, we get so locked into a sport, and even at sport, you see it at my level, the professional level, that you forget to keep learning. And no matter what you do, no matter how old you are, what stage in life you are, just there's always a way to get better at something and do something better. So, my advice to kids is always be creative, find new ways to get better, find new ways, challenge yourself, and to never stop growing. It's an endless thing that you just keep evolving and keep trying to get better at whatever you're doing.
I love it. I love it.
Do everything that you can and continue to work hard at what you. I think Ryan says it great. It's just that if you put your heart into it, whether it's hockey or writing or music, whatever it is, just put your heart into it.
I love it. All right, guys, where can our listeners find you guys?
MacandCheeze.com. And then we're on all the Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all the places you can find music. YouTube.
I love it.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, there's a whole, we didn't touch on yet, but a whole animated side on Kelly's been working with the team and creating videos for these songs. And my kids love them. They're great to throw on, just silly animated animals singing the songs and our characters doing it. So
and that's all on YouTube, right, Ryan and Kelly? That's all on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you look up Mac N Cheeze, you type in Ryan Kelly, that'll help you find the exact right one. And that's how y'all can find him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Ryan, Kelly, this is more than hockey, more than music. This is about holding on to what made you fall in love with life. From locker room cheers to having your song sung loudly in family living rooms, you've turned friendship into something people feel and reminded all of us it's okay to stay a kid. This is the SuperFan Diaries. I'm J.R. Green. Follow, review, and nominate your favorite Superfans. And remember, if you make one person smile today, you've had a great day. Make them laugh, even better. Go get them.